from the bottom, better move with caution. When I bring this out final form, I'm a slay. When I pull up, get thunderclap, my slayers running back. Make sure these demons remember the name. I do them dirty like EU when I'm dead calm. Till I get hot, but I see through all your dead plots. Loving the guys in these two, cut your head off. Pull up with your demons, I'm making sure they next calm. Feel like a pillar, my lessons breathing when I'm breath lost. That wrong, thinking that's my best shot. Flower guy, Hino, call me Kakada. Upper moon, lower moon, say I'm like a hot shit out.
Alright, man, it's your TBoy T-Boy, and we're back again with another vid, man. Today we're gonna be talking about the sand fruit that is going to be coming out in update 4. So the sand fruit has been leaked since the 3rd of this month, right? And basically this is what it looks like. A fan drew this, I guess, and they're thinking about using this drawing, so they like took the drawing and they made it into a 3D model, and then they're like, oh yeah, we might actually use this, it looks valid, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like the One Piece sand fruit and whatnot. So it's like a special, like, you know, it's just like different from every other One Piece game on Roblox, right? And so we're just gonna be talking about like the different skill sets and, like, you know what I mean, that's probably gonna be dropping with this fruit, and like the weaknesses and like the strength and whatnot about it. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, really appreciate it, man. We're trying to hit 10k subs before summer, so we have like this month. I'm trying to hit it by the end of this month, or, you know, sooner. And remember, we're doing a 50 GPO access giveaway at 9k subs. And listen, another thing is, I am not one of those YouTubers that say I'll do a giveaway and then, you know, I mean, fake it. I'm not Pretty Boy Fredo or none of that, alright? But yeah, let's get right into the video. So basically, the first move that I believe will be coming out with this fruit is going to be Desert Dagger, and this is what it looks like right here. So Desert Dagger is basically him putting his hand like in the sand, and just like a straight line of like diamond, like I don't even think the sand is diamond. It's just moving so fast, right, that it becomes like a razor blade, like a diamond sharp razor blade that cuts through anything in its path, right? And this move was used on Luffy. Here's a clip of it. Okay, so I see this move in GPO, right? And the reason why I see this move in GPO is because, one, it's not like the craziest AoE, but there's nothing wrong with AoE moves, but this move just seems like a basic move that you can kind of combo and extend with, you know what I mean? Some M1s, and then you use it depending on how fast like the move activates. You can use it to M1 combo, or, you know what I mean, but it's probably gonna be like a decently like median range, not really long, you know what I mean? But it is a long, like pretty deep, like I said, it's not super long range, like, you know what I mean? I would say it'd probably be like 10% more longer than like the shock punch on Gura, you know, or something like that. And then, you know, it's probably gonna be small AoE but deal a lot of damage, you know what I mean? And I don't know, maybe next update they might add like a thing where you can actually lose limbs, because if you think about control, it's gonna add a part where you can actually take away people's hearts and stuff and then deal damage to it. So there's a good chance they might add a thing where you can remove limbs. You can, you know, depending on what move and like whatnot. That would be pretty awesome if they did that, no cap. But that's gonna be the first move that I believe will be coming out. And next we got is going to be Desert Cutlass. My mouth.
Desert Cutlass.
So it's gonna be Desert Cutlass, and it's basically this right here. So it's basically like, I don't know if you guys have seen Black Clover, the praying mantis guy, you know, with the blade on the side. So it's basically kind of the same thing, but it doesn't like physically just stay on his arm like the blade, like that guy. But you know what I mean? What happens is that he swipes his hand in front of you, and then the sand following through, like after he like swipes his hand, if it hits you, you basically dry up, you know what I mean? And this move I can see as a stun. You know what I mean? When it hits you, you kind of like shrink and like shrivel, and then you know he can M1 combo and whatnot. That's basically how I kind of see this move in Grand Prix. I feel like it would be like pretty godly, but like it won't be too. It's kind of like a combo extender. Like each foot has to have some type of combo extender. You know what I mean? So I feel like that would be a combo extender. Plus, it's not gonna be huge AOE. You know what I mean? It's not like something you can throw. It's like you kind of like just weave your hand like in front of the person, and then if it once it hits them, it dries them up. Here's a clip of that right here. So yeah, that's a clip of it. So I feel like that would be like the second move for Sand. You know what I mean? Not too long of a range, and it's not too short, but you know what I mean, it's more of a combo extender. You can M1 him, hit him up, use it, you know what I mean, M1 him again, boom 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 boom, like that. And then next we got Sandstorm. Sandstorm is this right here, and it's basically he makes a tornado in his hand, and he's able to like just throw it and create a storm. Like it's literally in the name. Like he'll literally make a tornado in his hand, and then boom, he just a random tornadoes just out of nowhere. You know, it can deal damage to cities, towns, all that. But they're not gonna obviously make it too big in the game. You know what I mean? We're gonna make it like a decently sized move. But if it hits, they can make it where another move that I'm pretty sure they're gonna add up is dry up. Dry up is basically if you're on the ground, right? He puts his hand down on the floor, and whatever's touching the ground except him will literally decay. Like it will shrivel. It will shrink. It'll be dried up, bro. It'll be dried up. It'll be like one of those Capri Suns. They're just like after you're done drinking them, they're like tiny, basically like that. It can crumble buildings. It can kill trees, plants around. Every life force that is touching that will be crumbled and be dead. The only way I see this working is like an M1. You know what I mean? And then when it touches the ground, you can use it. I don't know how fast you're gonna be able to do it though. We don't know, and I'm not sure how, like, if they do add it, I don't know the speed they would add, like, for it to cover the ground. You know what I mean? It might be like you know, Magu, what do we call it? When you stomp with the Magu attack, I forgot this name. But yeah, if you guys know what I'm talking about, for Magu, where he like steps on the ground, you know, the thing like you shoot you up to the air if it hits you. So it could be like that, but then what happens is that you get stunned. You know what I mean? And it guard breaks, obviously, because, you know what I mean, like, it's basically killing your life force. I don't think you can dodge that, you know what I mean? Or, like, I don't know if you can perfect block it either, because, you know what I mean, you're, like, it's just draining you. So, but it is a game, so I honestly seen, like, they could probably perfect block it or something, but that would be, like, a really good stun move. The thing about Sand is going to be a lot, like, stun. Like, it's going to be a stun type fruit, to be very honest. Another attack I see them doing is going to be Great Sword of the Desert. This is what it looks like right here. The Great Sword of the Desert is basically like a sharp, basically like a sword, like a dagger coming out from the ground. You know what I mean? And it hits you. But I don't know how they're gonna do that, but like they might make it where it's just like one huge, well, that's basically what it is. It's like one huge sword just popping up from the ground and just hitting you. You know what I mean? I can see that, to be honest, for like long range, kind of like, you know the way bomb is, where you're able to like aim it, but it's kind of like Sand, and then you kind of like aim where you want the sword to pop up from, and it can just boom hit them. I can see them doing that, and that could be like the second to last move, maybe. It could even be like I don't, because the thing about the game is there's only 5 moves. There's only 5 moves per fruit. Not every fruit has 5 moves, I believe, but no, actually that's the cap. I think every single fruit has 5 moves except for Suke. I don't think Suke has 5 moves, but every other fruit has 5 moves. Gura, Magu. So I feel like that would be not too like broken, because like it will do damage but not too much damage, because you're able to aim it anywhere, and the cooldown might be fast, it might not be, but it's like the great sword, so it probably takes a lot of stamina energy to actually even summon it. So it might do a great amount of damage, and it might actually impale people. Like if you get hit by it, they might make it where if you're hit by it, you're impaled, and then you know when it's leaving, it just gets like you get pulled down and you hit the ground, and then boom 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 M1. That could be another type of move they can add. So like, you know, the sword pops up, hits them, they get impaled, pulls down to the, like when it's leaving, it pulls down, they hit the floor, and then you can M1. And then the last move that I believe, like this is like, I really do believe this might be added. I don't know if it'll be broken or not. It's basically Sandstorm heavy. So basically he takes a tornado and like condenses, like he condenses it into his hand, like in his hand, right? He makes it condense in his hand. It's basically a ball of condensed sand, right? And then he's able to throw it, and he's able to like create like a shockwave, like a huge kind of like pulse when it hits the ground, and then boom, you know. What I mean, I don't know if you're gonna add that, if it'll be similar to Gura or not, but it's more like it has to hit the, like a target, you know what I mean? It has to hit something for it to make that. The AoE of it, I highly doubt you're gonna make it fat, because that would be way too broken, you know what I mean? Just got the man throwing sand at you and boom 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 boom. Like, no, I don't see that. I don't see that enough. But I see they could do that, because sand is going to have some type of long range moves, because it's sand. Like, you know what I mean? To be honest, Crocodile should be able to even make like condensed spears like next to him floating, and just able to throw them, you know what I mean? Like he's like, they're rising from the ground, he's just shooting them at you. Like that should be a thing too. Like they didn't add it to the anime, obviously, you know what I mean? I don't even know if, like, I'm only on episode 200, so I don't really know too much, but these are just like my theories on like how they're gonna make the attacks and whatnot. Obviously they can't make them too broken, because then it'll like, then Sanfu will be godly and whatnot, but hey, it do be like that. Next, the weakness and the strength of Sand. So Sand, I don't think there's anything that's gonna be buffing Sand whatsoever. Obviously he can get Sand from anywhere he is, because Sand is literally in every single like spot you're at. Like no matter, like unless you're in a house, even in your house there has to be like unless you clean like daily, there has to be like tiny specks of sand all over the place. Like you can't even lie to yourself. You might not feel it because it's sand, you know what I mean? You have a carpet, there has to be like, so there's sand in there. You might be like, oh, I vacuumed, right? But if you haven't vacuumed like a minute, there's sand in there. Especially if you wear shoes in your house, most definitely sand in there. As if you were like in like Sandora, if you're anywhere with sand, you know, basically that's what I'm saying. Then it's like, okay, it's more strong, like it's, you know, stronger. You still have bigger AoE because you're able to gather more sand from that area. So I feel like that's what they might do. That's what they might not do, because then that would be like OP then not OP, because if you're not where the sand is, then you're cooked, you know what I mean, basically. And Coliseum has a whole bunch of sand, so like there's literally, you know, I mean, it's gonna be OP in Coliseum obviously, but like if you think about wars and stuff, what if you're at Marine G1, you know what I mean, where Whitebeard is, you have less sand to work with or something, then like, you know, I mean, you're basically cooked. Yeah, but basically the next thing we got is the weakness of sand. Sand will be taking probably double to triple damage in water. Like if you touch water, like you're dead. Like in seconds you're dead. No one's gonna, like, you know what I mean, but as soon as you touch the water, you're literally dead. It's probably gonna be like the fastest like thing for you to like die in. Like if someone hits you in water, there's nothing you can do. I feel like if you're a sand guy, they might make it if you're a fisherman, there's no way you're even touching the water. Like they might do that also, because sand and water is not a good mix, bro. You're going, like, if you poured sand in water, it like doesn't float. You're just going all the way to the bottom. So that's, I feel like if you have sand fruit, if you're a fisherman, there's no way they're gonna allow you to swim, to be honest. There's like, unless they just leave it like every other food. If you're a fisherman, you are able to swim on top of the water, but I highly doubt you're gonna do that, to be honest. Because it's sand, you know what I mean? It's sand. But yeah, that's basically it though for the weakness. I don't think any other fruit can really counter it. Like lightning can't hurt sand. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's another thing. Sand is gonna have a huge advantage over like lightning, and what else is it gonna have an advantage of? Like lightning and basically every other fruit. Barrier, most definitely. Line sand cannot hurt barrier, bro, unless there's like a tiny hole or something underneath, like the barrier spot you're in. Well, actually, that's a cap because he can create. So here's the thing about barrier: he can easily create a sand. He can easily create, like, if you're on top of like where there's sand and like you pop your barrier bubble, if there's a speck of sand in there, he can use that to kill you. You know what I mean? He can control sand anywhere in any space. So I feel like barrier might be, it's like it's, you know, kind of like it's like it's bad medicine. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it might not be. Maggle and Flame, Maggle can easily melt sand, I believe, like, unless I'm tripping, and then Flame turns sand into glass. So I feel like those will be way OP for sand. You know what I mean? Because one, they have like bigger moves and AoE. But yeah, that's basically it though. If you guys really enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe, man. I know this is the first time I've ever done something like this. But yeah, that's gonna be it though. See you guys in another one. Peace.
Whoa, ice cream, they change. Titans, go. Mole, paradise, my war, fold. My war, my war, my war. Whoa, my soldiers rage. My soldiers scream.